Hey guys, so today me and my co-host Blue, we'll see if he decides to participate today, are doing a bit of a different video. I found something that has been an absolute game changer in my life. It's made absolutely everything that I do, well, most things that I do, way faster and way more efficient. It's like I've been putting out these desperate pleas to the universe for something to come into my life to free up more time and energy, and then something did. And it's absolutely something that you can use as well with your health recovery and the research that you're doing, trying to figure out how you're going to get yourself well from conditions like long COVID or chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS. And so as I'm using this new magical thing every day, I keep thinking about, oh my goodness, all of you out there who have very limited energy, very limited mental bandwidth, I really hope that you're putting this to use. So this video that Blue and I, mostly me, are gonna do is going to be all about that. So what this magical thing is artificial intelligence, or AI, which I'm sure you've been hearing a lot about. Now stay with me, because I know right now you probably just wanna be like, not for me, don't have the mental bandwidth for this. I don't think this is what I'm looking for right now. But it's super simple to use, and it's going to completely change or free up so much time and energy as you start to navigate the mess of things that are out there on the internet. Specifically, what I'm going to be walking you through today, step by step, very simple, how to use for free Chat GPT. I'm sure you've heard of it, maybe you've played around with it a little bit, but I took a course recently teaching me how to really get the most out of it. So I'm going to share step-by-step instructions for you about where to access it, what exactly to put into it, how to get the information you're looking for in the most concise, easy to digest format. And I'm going to share some simple prompts, some really powerful prompts that you can put into it that will help elicit the kind of information that you're looking for. To illustrate why you're going to want to know about this and to really paint a picture of how this is going to change your life as well, I want you to take a moment to just quickly compare yourself versus ChatGPT and your doctor versus ChatGPT. Now for yourself, picture yourself, let's say, in a library full of books, and you are searching for answers to your illness. And you meet in this library a librarian that knows every single word on every single page and in every single book, and can regurgitate that back to you on command, whatever you're looking for. And it's much more complicated than that. And to make it more, I guess, relevant to our time, picture you're searching the internet, and there are literally billions of websites out there, and you're trying to pull together information. So you versus ChatGPT, how long is it going to take you to search through all of that? Even with Google, who can pull up a list of results and filter that for you, versus ChatGPT, who you can ask it specific questions, where you can give it specific prompts, and it's going to pull together summaries, concise summaries from every single website that's out there and bring to you your, your summary of what that all is. It's problematic in some ways. That's why there's big problems in universities, because it's virtually impossible to tell the difference now between a student writing a research paper and ChatGPT. ChatGPT can do all the research for you. Students can write research papers in 30 seconds, what used to take 12 hours to do. So this really is a game changer. And we think about your doctor. If we want to put your doctor up against ChatGPT or these different forms of AI, it's like comparing an encyclopedia from the 90s versus the internet. So kind of see where I'm going with this. It's once you're aware of the power and the capabilities of it, you're never going to go back to how you used to do research and how you used to look for information. So let's start with the basics. What is ChatGPT and where can you find it? So you can access it through this website. I'll link it in the video description. It's chat.openai.com. So you can just click on that link in the video description and boom, you're there. So OpenAI is an artificial intelligence research lab that was established in December of 2015 by Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and a group of other really prominent tech leaders. One of the best investments that I have done recently in myself and in my life was taking that AI course. And I believe one of the best investments that you can do right now is taking in videos like this and just learning some really simple things so that you can start doing things so much faster and stop wasting time. And it's also super fun. AI can do all sorts of things. I recently inputted about 20 selfies of myself into an app called Lensa AI. I'll link it in the video description. And from the themes that I told it, the styles that I said I wanted, created all of these really kind of mind-blowing pictures of me, oil painting sketches, all sorts of stuff. I even did it for my dog. It's super fun and just really crazy to see what's happening. For about the last 10 years, the tech world has been working hard to create this, and now AI is popping up all over the place. And by really just embracing it, I know change can be hard, but it's actually very, very simple to use, so user-friendly. That component of artificial intelligence, especially when you're using things like Chat GPT, can feel just like you're talking with a human. It can be hard to see that you're not sometimes. But if you just go straight into Chat GPT, it's only giving you what's available on the internet up to September of 2021. But there is a way to get past that and to also tap into information that comes after September 2021. Okay, so let's just go right into Chat GPT, and I'm just going to walk you through step by step what to do. So once you've clicked on the link, you'll have to set up an account, put in an email address and a password, pretty standard for most things these days. And you'll see that there's a Chat GPT 3.5 and a Chat GPT 4.0. The 3.5 is the free version, which is what I initially used. It's really powerful. And then the 4.0 costs currently about $20 per month, which is what I've upgraded to because I've come to see that it does give you a lot more results. Like it says, our most capable model, great for tasks that require creativity and advanced reasoning. So personally, the $20 is worth the investment. So I go that route, but you'll get by just fine if you want to start out trying the free version of the 3.5. All right, Blue, what do you think? You still with me? Okay, so when you're using ChatGPT, you want to ask it specific questions or give it prompts. And many people, when they start using it, just sort of treat it like Google, which will get you some information, but it is different than Google, and you will get the best results from it if you talk to it like a human and be as specific as possible. So instead of putting in the search bar, tell me about ME/CFS, say, what is the latest research on the link between gut health and ME/CFS? Let's say you're looking for information about diet. So instead of plugging into it, what should I eat for chronic fatigue syndrome recovery? Ask it, how does a ketogenic diet impact ME/CFS recovery? Or what research is there, or what are people reporting are the benefits for a plant-based diet with long COVID recovery? This can help too. Sometimes we see researchers or scientists and they are sharing, really technical stuff and we don't really understand it. Or maybe we're looking for more of the technical stuff. You can ask it things like, what is the effect of cytokine production on immune response in long COVID patients? You could say, give me the most popular articles or research on this specific topic. So let's dig into some specifics of exactly what this can look like. Okay, so let's ask it, what are 3 popular books? Or let's say, what are 3 best-selling books on chronic fatigue syndrome recovery? Because popular could mean a lot of things, but best-selling is a bit more specific. So, you could plug this into Google, and Google is going to give you a list of websites, maybe people with blogs who have come up with their own lists. It's going to give you a mess of information. You're going to see the search results. You know how many pages of results it's going to give you. It's going to be just really overwhelming, and it's going to be hard to know really what the truth is from that. But what ChatGPT is doing, it is giving you, it's scanning all of that, taking all of that in, this like a supercharged human or artificial intelligence, and it's going to scan all of that and just give you a really concise answer. So it's telling us about its cutoff of September 21, but much of the information that people are using to recover, virtually everyone that maybe even every single person that has recovered that I've talked to on my channel that I've interviewed, recovered using information that was available prior to September 2021. So we have this thing where we're like, no, we want to hear what came out this month. And that is important. And that can have value too. And I'll show you a workaround for that. But for virtually everything that I do, the body of knowledge that it has is enough. So we look at this and okay, so we've got 3 different answers that it's come up with. So maybe you take a look at this and you think, okay, I'm really intrigued by option number 1. So you could just say, summarize book number 1 for me. Oops, that's not a 1. Because normally on the internet now you'd have to just kind of buy the book and go out and read it. So it's going to put together a summary for you. And the biggest power with Chat GPT is that you can talk to it like a human, and it's important to stop thinking about it like Google, because it's all in the specifics and the follow-up questions that you ask. So you're probably not going to get everything you want on your first try, or it's going to be too broad or maybe not broad enough. So you look at it and you can just talk to it in plain English and say things like, I don't understand that. Can you explain that in layman terms? Or this doesn't make sense. I find this part confusing. Summarize that book for me. So when we look at it, it summarized the book for us. So we look through of that, like, sleep, nutrition, exercise. Let's say the exercise part is something that you're interested in knowing more about. We say expand on number 5. And so forth. So you can see how what would have taken you really an eternity to research. You're combing through Google search results, trying to figure out what blog got it right, who's telling you what the best books really are, and then trying to find what those books are about, or going out and reading all of them. And this way you can really just dive into exactly what you want to dive into. And so it's come up with an answer here. And maybe you're like, okay, this is still overwhelming. Like, I just don't have the energy to read all of this. And you say, okay, summarize this, making it about 50% shorter. And it'll do that for you. And it'll give you a more concise version. And it doesn't have to just to be summaries of information, summaries of content. It can also be, break that down for me. Break down the recovery information in book number, what did we say that was? Book number 3. Book number 3. Give me step-by-step instructions on what I should do to implement recommendations in this book. And so forth. So there we go. Some of the strategies coming from it: recognition and acceptance, seeking professional help, certain lifestyle adjustments to make, recommendations around pacing, support systems, personalized approach. So right now you've just gotten kind of the whole treatment approach that's coming from this book. And it took you, 2 minutes to pull up this information, 30 seconds before, if not less, to find this book and find what are the top books. And it doesn't just stop here. Let's do a new chat. Now I'm always going to stay in 4.0. And, brain training is a hot topic right now. And people are like, where do I find information about brain training? It can be really overwhelming. Where can I find brain training strategies? So you can say, I am a person. It helps to give it perspective, who you are, what you're looking for, kind of what voice you want it to write it in. Tell me in layman terms, tell me in technical terms, tell me in point form. Tell it what you're going to use this information for. The more specific you get, the more close of information it's going to put together for you. That is what you're looking for. Okay, so let's say we ask it, I'm a person with chronic fatigue syndrome or long COVID, or input whatever you want, looking to try some brain training or neuroplasticity training programs to help with my recovery. Let's see. With my recovery. Summarize the top strategies and also share where I can find information on these. And this is where it's like talking to a human. It comes back at me with, living with chronic fatigue syndrome can be challenging and complex, and I commend you for exploring different paths toward recovery and self-care. And it's also, sharing that the research is not well established on this, so it's a good thing to consider, but there are potentially benefits that you can get from them. So it's sharing all sorts of things, cognitive behavioral therapy, which I know has gotten a bad rap, and sometimes potentially with good reason, but an element of that is that it has basically brain training in it. So it's shared, meditation and mindful-based stress reduction, brain training apps. It's shared a few Lumosity, Peak, and Elevate brain training apps. I haven't heard of any of those. Physical exercise, Okay. Okay, so now it's giving us just overall brain health. So this is where I probably wasn't specific enough in my prompt, but that's okay. The information comes up and you're like, I want to do a deep dive on specifically, let's say number 3. Let's say expand on the apps in number 3. How do they work? Let's say you want to compare these apps. You're like, okay, now where do I start? Now I have to look into all these apps, see what they're about. Now we've just got right in front of us, really quickly, a summary of what they all do. And you can see which one of these maybe sounds like a good idea to you. And you can keep diving in deeper and deeper and deeper. You could break it down and say, okay, Peak, tell me, step by step, what would it look like for me to use this app? It's also helpful if you're looking at specific programs. You could ask it, if you're looking at different programs, say, I'm considering using DNRS for my long COVID recovery. Tell me step by step what doing the DNRS program involves. Now, that might not have been specific enough. That might have been too general, but we'll look at what it punches out. And then from there, we'll just do the follow-up questions and we'll get at the information that we're looking for. All right, so here we see step by step, like, okay, if I get into DNRS, what is this going to look like? First of it is understanding the theory. Once you enroll in the program, you get a package includes DVDs, a workbook, and support from their coaches. You complete some training. There's a daily practice that you start to implement that are designed to rewire the brain's neural circuits and so forth. Okay, so we could say, expand on number 4. Tell me specifically about the exercises to rewire the brain. What are they? How do I do them? How long do they take? And of course, you're not going to get the program for free. People don't put all of their proprietary information out there. So it's not like it's a bypass or a workaround to sort of steal information for people. But you will get information summarized for you really easily and just a much better snapshot, because it's taking information not just from their website, but from every blogger, everything that's out there that's ever talked about this program. So it's pulling in all of the information from all of these different sources and putting it together in a way that it's just virtually impossible for you to find on your own simply by Googling this stuff. Let's do one more example here just to show you about how you structure this. So I wrote this one out in advance so you wouldn't have to watch me type, but say for chronic fatigue syndrome and long COVID recovery, some people find that mind-body approaches work. This can include working with your autonomic nervous system. It can also include using brain training exercise. You are a mind-body approach expert. So you're giving it the perspective from which to filter all of this information. And you're not saying you're a critic of mind, like let's say you wanted to discount mind body, you'd come at it from that approach. But right now you're really genuinely interested in learning on the benefits of it and coming at it from that perspective. So tell me specific strategies or programs that can be successful. So, maybe the prompt of just tell me about brain training wasn't enough. Maybe we needed to get more specific. So as you can see, we actually did get quite a bit more detail, things like biofeedback, neurofeedback, progressive muscle relaxation, guided imagery, hypnosis or self-hypnosis, DNRS came up again. You could ask it to give you more specific programs on this and just keep diving down, whatever direction you're trying to go until you get exactly what you're looking for. And once you give this a try, just your head's going to explode if you haven't tried this already. Tell me in the comments if you're already using Chat GPT, and if so, what are you using it for and what has your experience been? Because I find once you learn how to start giving it the prompts, the right prompts, and you get more specific and just talk to it like a human, you get really fast results. You're like, wow, that just saved me so much time. So there is a general introduction on how to use Chat GPT to start saving yourself so much, not just saving yourself time, but getting so much better information when you're doing your searches online. And I know it can be overwhelming to learn this and remember the prompts, and it's really important to learn how to talk to it. So you're telling it, Blue's growling. That is not helpful. My co-host he's growling at people in the hallway. He's keeping us safe. But it's important to know how to talk to it so that it's filtering that information and bringing you the information in a format, and not just the format, but just really specifically the type of information that you're looking for. So I've put together a summary of a whole bunch of prompts that you can just copy and paste into Chat GPT, and I've linked it in the video description. So click on the link and that will be sent to you, and then you can just copy and paste those prompts, and tailor it for the specific topics or information that you're looking looking for, and they'll help you to get the best results when you're using it. All right, now, how about if you want information past September 2021? Because as we now know, and ChatGPT has told us, it does not have information available past that date. So there's a really simple workaround. What you need to do is you need to be using the web browser Chrome. I was on purpose using Safari before, so you wouldn't see this option in there. But once you're in Chrome, there's a Chrome extension that you can install, which is super simple. It's just one click. It's linked in the video description, so you can click on that. You'll get the Chrome extension. And then with this, it allows you to use Chat GPT and have it start accessing information beyond September 2021. Okay, so here we are, super quick. It's very easy to do. Now I have logged into Chat GPT, so chat.openai.com, linked in the video description, but now I'm using Chrome, and I've used that, or you've used that link in the video description to install the Chrome extension. So now every time you open Chat GPT, you don't have to do anything. The option to access everything beyond September 2021 is automatically there. When you look at the search bar at the bottom, there's this little toggle for web access, and all you do is toggle that on, and now you're accessing everything up till today. There is a bit of a catch. The information doesn't come to you quite as clean, and it doesn't come to you in quite the same format as when we're looking at everything before that 2021 cutoff. So I really would encourage you to, as much as possible, keep the web access option toggled off, because there is very little that's coming out in the last year or so that is really changing the game of recovery for ME/CFS, and ultimately for a lot of people with long COVID. But long COVID being a newer condition, I could see how if this is what you're facing, that you're going to want to every once in a while just do a peek and see what's happening. So then you can use this option and toggle on that web access and see what's out there. Well done. We got through it. Good for you for sticking through all of this. I know sometimes these things that are new can feel overwhelming and just like, oh, I don't even want to go there. I just don't have the energy, especially when you're sick. But this is one of those things with a very small investment of energy, you're going to get a really big payout. So good for you for sticking with it. And, you know, my co-host, Blue, really has been, I think, vital in this process. I don't know how we would have gotten through it without him. Come here, Blue. Come here, co-host, get to work. Get to work. There we go. Hi, say hi to everybody. If you enjoyed this video, I'm going to link one on the screen that is all about it's not AI, but it's just about getting a lot of information summarized to you quickly. So it's where I go through sort of the 3 buckets of things that I've found that people address who recover from these sorts of conditions. So all of my recovery interviews sort of summarized into one video, so you can get the gist of it all in one place. Whatever you're going through, keep at it. Massive hugs to you. I know it can be really hard. I commend you for keep trying. The most important thing you can do, I think, is not give up, and just keep remembering that you've totally got this. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. I look forward to your feedback in the comments. I hope you'll subscribe and join me for more videos in the future, and I hope to see you in this next one.